Hey Rhody, I'm Elise Major.
And I'm Jenna Kaplan, and this is Hey Rhody Weekly, where we bring the pages of our magazines to life. This week, we're going to talk about elephants coming to Newport,
Locally made beauty products,
tech tips to help keep you mindful,
and a cafe that serves up a delicious breakfast, lunch, and weekend specials.
all that and more coming up.
So, the Great Elephant Migration is coming to Newport, and Jenna has written about it for us. Will you tell us more about what you know?
I have. So the Great Elephant Migration, what that is there is going to be 100 elephant statues coming to green spaces in Newport. And why that's happening is to bring awareness to how we can coexist with animals, and then also how they are, like, elephants are going extinct. So we need to kind of take action in order to keep them thriving.
The photos look amazing because these elephants, I think they're carved out of wood and they're life size. So having 100 of these around Newport, it's going to be quite the spectacle.
Quite a chunktastic time.
I love it.
Oh my God. Yeah, and the whole installation is actually really cool. I've been looking at some photos of it. I haven't pulled up on my computer. And what you were saying about them kind of bringing it in to teach people to coexist with animals, it's a really important message to get across. And it's also one that a lot of other countries don't have the same protections for wild animals that we do. Just the idea that we have federally mandated like wildlife corridors and wildlife areas isn't even a thing that exists in most of the rest of the world. So it's like a really important message to get across, not just here, but everywhere, that coexistence is key, and things like as beautiful as elephants need to be preserved.
Yeah. So it's going to be, they'll be on the Cliff Walk at Rough Point, the Meeting House, the Breakers, Salve Regina. So they're going to be, scattered all throughout Newport.
It's going to be, I think, a real spectacle and something to see, and they're around until early September. So July is always a great time, I think, to sort of like look into different kind of beauty and wellness and bath and body care. And whenever I want to do a roundup of one of these articles, most of the times I call on Callie Bissett, because she works at Brown and Hopkins Country Store in Chepachet, and she is so familiar with, I'm talking micro brands.
Yeah.
They must, I don't know if they stock them in the store or if she is just like really on top of these things. But because we're always writing for the magazines, I always feel like I know all these brands, and she always comes up with a list of people I've never even heard of.
Yeah. Like, so I have recently was looking up sunblock made in Rhode Island, and I could only find one place that I've talked about before. But then when I looked at this list, there was, what is it called? The Raw Elements sunblock.
Yeah, Raw Elements, and it was formulated by a longtime Narragansett lifeguard. And, it's very safe for the ocean and for skin, and, there's no toxins or chemicals. Another thing that I thought was really cool was Birch Beauty. So I live in Northern Rhode Island, and I had no idea of this brand. It's a mother and daughter, and they actually have a storefront in Lincoln.
Oh.
Yeah, and so the shampoo that she writes about is a bar shampoo that you can get at their shop, and it's Birch Beauty, and that was somebody not on my radar. Another one was Atlantic Soap Company. So she is born and raised in Providence. She lives on the Cape now, but a lot of local shops in Rhode Island stock her soaps. And, they're very pretty. They have that artisanal look.
Yes.
So every brand on this list is either made in Rhode Island or sold in Rhode Island. Here's Nick Del Judas to tell you more.
Kick it over.
Just for a full list of the places that are covered in the article, we have Beaches Botanicals, which is located in West Kingston. Raw Elements Sunblock, it's formulated by a Narragansett lifeguard, which we mentioned. Birch Beauty Shampoo is mentioned, and that's made by a mother-daughter team in Lincoln. Island Mist Healing Salve is a Block Island brand. Flo's Daughter Radiance Oil made in Chepachet, and then a High Tide Soap from Atlanta Soap Company, who's a Providence girl living on the Cape, available at local shops like Matriarch and Stock Culinary Goods. And I think that's the case with a lot of these. You can find them in a lot of local shops that sell local makers and these types of things. And most of them you can find online as well. And you can find this entire list in our magazines and online from our magazines as well.
Shop small, shop local.
Yes. Oh, excuse me, we're back.
Elise, put that away.
Okay. Jenna, will you give us some tips about unplugging or disconnecting from our phones and other media and other communications, that is?
Yes, because I think we're in such a digital world now where it's like you have a phone on you at all times. If you don't have a phone, you have an iPad. If you don't have that, like, you are surrounded. So it is important to take a step back and take a break from technology. So one way to do that would be to unplug for a day, or maybe, so pick a day where you're like, I'm gonna put the phone away, I'm gonna turn it off, like, we'll see what happens. But if that's too much, you can also like dedicate certain hours or certain rooms to being tech-free.
I like to call it a postcation.
Yeah.
I like to, so I recently
Oh, I get it.
went away with my family and, you know, I didn't post to social media. I might have shared a story, but I just thought, let's take a little vacation from this. It's a little too much.
Yeah. And then also, the doom scrolling is so real. It is so real. So it's almost like you have to think before you open up your phone. What am I opening this for? What am I doing? You know, maybe set a timer if you do doom scroll.
Yeah. Now you're our digital media specialist.
Yeah.
So, you know, what is your number one way that you like to unplug? Like, say it's a Saturday afternoon, you know, what do you do to like put the phone away?
I literally I turn it off and put it away, and I leave the house before I can like grab it.
That's very smart.
But I also make sure if I'm doing that, I'm with someone who does have a phone in case they're like, you know, is an emergency. But
Sure.
I don't trust myself enough to take the phone with me for like just in case. So
Yeah, no, that's very smart. Sometimes I make bracelets because I feel like I'm using both of my hands. You'll see me wearing bracelets all the time. But that's what I'll do on maybe a Sunday is I just sit and make bracelets for friends and myself, and it keeps my hands busy. Because even if I'm reading, I might get a story idea and then I'm back on the phone emailing myself ideas. So it's a good thing to unplug.
Nick, how do you unplug?
Sorry, what were you saying? Oh.
Oh, was your head in
Using
your
my
phone?
Yeah, no, I don't know what you're saying. I'm fine over here. No big deal. One thing actually that I think can shock you into using your phone less is turning on screen time and actually looking at it.
Yeah.
Because it will freak you out, the amount that you use your phone. Especially I put my, I'll play like YouTube in the background, and my screen time would be like 11 hours a day or something. And I'm like, well, that
It's like
can't be good for
26
you.
out of 24 hours.
Yeah, exactly. But turning on screen time is a good way to like kind of keep yourself accountable. So
That's true. When I was away on vacation, I would check my screen time and it was like 20 minutes. And I felt like that was pretty much just kind of checking the scene. And I felt good about having a lower time because it meant that I was more present in what I was actually doing. So, you know, that's really, that's what it's all about, baby.
Ain't that the truth? Be present, read Hey Rhody. And all the others.
Yeah, exactly.
It's Nick's favorite topic. Let's talk food.
food.
Food. And so this month, Providence Monthly, we have a experience piece at Rhody Hen Cafe.
Yes, we do.
And our contributor writer, Co, wrote it.
Yeah. They have more than one location. She went to the one in North Providence. I think right on Smith Street. And, you know, she just ordered all kind of like habanero things, very savory breakfast items.
Yeah, well, yeah, so they do lunch and breakfast.
Breakfast and weekend specials.
And then they also, cocktails.
Cocktails and beer. And the cocktails look really fascinating, like really kind of like yummy stuff like coffee milk and things like that.
Ooh, yeah.
Yeah.
That sounds
Coffee
good.
milk cocktail. I like that. That sounds great.
All right.
So
You invited him.
Elise, it sounds like you like sweet stuff for breakfast. Is that right? Or no? Are you more a savory person?
That is an excellent question. I go back and forth all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I want a little bit of both. Like, I love when you can get like a big old like farmer breakfast where maybe there's like a pancake and an egg and bacon. Or I'm easily tempted by like a waffle or pancake with fruit on top and then a side of bacon to kind of balance that sweet savory.
Yeah.
I'm also a maple syrup snob. I've been known to bring it with me. Yes.
Okay.
Okay, go
Like
on.
if I'm gonna have a delicious pancake, I wanna make sure I'm using real maple syrup.
Yeah. I don't care how much, what kind of maple syrup it is, as long as there's enough.
So are you more sweet or savory?
I would say for the most part, more savory. When I do go sweet though, like I would say I'm more adventurous in savory breakfast foods. As in like if I go out for like brunch or something, I'll try like the crazy eggs Benedict or, you know, whatever different kind of food that is. But if I want sweet, I'm just going pancakes and syrup.
You know what
That's
you'll
it.
like about the Rhody Cafe? Lots of gluten-free options, Nick.
Love that.
Waffles, pancakes, French toast, all gluten-free. So
Perfect.
all nice for little Nick here.
Little Nick. It's about to be a trunktastic time. I'm like, I know words, but they're not coming out right.
See, so you're a secret syrup snob, you didn't even know it. So who's talking?
All right. You know what time? I'm like, did I fuck up my name?
No. I'm Jerome Kaplan.
All that.